Good morning, guys. Welcome to the session today. Hope you all can hear me. So, two sessions are going on. Okay. So, simultaneously, two sessions are going on. So, don't worry about that. So, thanks for joining today. Today is our first demo with the data engineering with the Google Cloud platform. So, I'm the trainer for this course. Let me gonna first introduce myself, guys. Then we will jump on to what we are going to see today. Okay, so as per our agenda today, I'm going to talk about what is data engineering. Okay, so the very first thing is that let us try to understand what is data engineering. So if you wanted to become a data engineer, what are the skills that you have to learn? That we are going to discuss in our first topic, that is what is data engineering. In the second topic today, I am going to talk about what is Google Cloud Platform. What is the benefits of using the Google Cloud Platform over the other clouds? And how to get the job in the Google Cloud Platform? How much easy to get a job in the Google Cloud Platform compared to the other two cloud platforms? So that also we will try to see. And then I'm going to talk about the detailed course curriculum. What are the topics that we are going to cover? And what is the cloud basics? What are the data engineering tools? All of those details, let us try to understand one by one. And then, we will see the course timings and how to access the notes and how to access the recordings. Everything, let us learn one by one. Okay, so this is our course agenda for today, guys. So I'm going to first talk about the data engineering, then Google Cloud Platform, then course curriculum and the course details. All of these things I'm going to talk about one by one. Don't ask me directly, sir, can you tell me about the course details first? Okay, so let us try to, by the end of this session, we will learn all of these basic things. Then we will wind up the session for today. Okay, so that is what we will do it today, guys. Okay, so before jump on to what is data engineering, let me gonna first tell you guys about myself. Okay, so my name is Shaik Saidhul. Okay, my name is Shaik Saidhul, guys. I have completed my masters from NIT Trichy, National Institute of Technology, Tiruchirappalli. Okay, I have completed my masters from National Institute of Technology, Tiruchirappalli. Currently, I am working as a solution architect. Currently, I am working as a solution architect at Quantech as a full time. Okay, I am a full time employee at Quantech and also consultant at Databricks. You might have known about the Databricks. So I am a consultant at Databricks. I am a developer. You can think of a senior developer at a Databricks. And I have total 2+ years of experience in training. In teaching, I would say. In teaching, I am a corporate trainer also. Okay, corporate trainer also for few companies, startup companies such as Rakuten and Quantica. So there are two things are there for two companies. I'm a corporate trainer also. So this is all about me, guys. So my name is Shaik Saidhul. I have completed my master's degree from National Institute of Technology, Tiruchirappalli, and I work at two places: solution architect at Quantech and uh, consultant at a Databricks. I have 2+ years of experience in teaching, and I'm also a corporate trainer. And now and then for like 10 days I take a leave and I go for corporate training for 10 days and I'll come back and work as a solution architect. So that is what I do. So this is all about me, guys. Okay, so yeah, now let us start with our very first topic today. What is data engineering? Let us start with what is data engineering, and then we will jump on to the other topics. So what is data engineering? Very, very simple. Okay, so sometimes you may be having the data that is coming from the multiple data sources, right? So you may be having the data that is coming from multiple data sources. You are running, assume that you are running some business. Okay, in a business, you have some application, right? For example, let us take a Flipkart business. Flipkart is having some Flipkart web service is there, Flipkart backend application is there, and Flipkart front end application is there. So whatever the application, whatever the web service, if someone is trying to interact with an application, you, for example, we every day we wanted to go to that e-commerce platform and try to order something. Whenever you are doing some kind of a transaction in the Flipkart, there gets a data generated, right? So you may be having the data generated at an application. Okay, you may be having that data that is coming in the form of a file format, maybe the CSV files or a Parquet files or a JSON files or a Avro files. So you have a data coming from the applications. You have a data in the form of some file formats, or you may be having the data that is coming from some databases. Someone has stored the data in the databases, maybe the MySQL database or a SQL Server database or a Postgres database or a Oracle, whatever it is. Or sometimes the data coming from some sensor devices, right? So that sensor devices are IoT devices. Okay, so you have the data coming from multiple data sources. I have categorized those data sources into these four. Either it could be an application, or it could be a file, or it could be one database, or it could be one sensor device. So these are all the data sources where the data gets generated. Where the data gets generated. So these are all we usually call it as data sources. We usually call it as data sources. The data generated at the data sources. Okay. So why, sir? What is the our agenda? So that is fine that the data is getting generated at these sources. That is totally fine. So why we need to worry about that data? Why we need to worry about the data? So why we need to worry about the data? It is the business think that whatever the data that is generated at these data sources, if you try to understand it properly, if you try to understand this data properly, this data will give you some kind of insights. This data will give you some kind of insight. Those insights are very useful for the business improvement. Okay, those insights are very useful for the business improvement, guys. So that is the reason our main focus is to worry about this data. We need to understand. If you wanted to understand the data, you need to store the data, process the data, analyze the data, and those analysis gives you some kind of insights. Those insights are very useful for the business improvement. So ultimately what we wanted to do is that whatever that you wanted to do, that needs to be, that leads to improve some business of that particular company. So if you wanted to improve the business, you need to have some kind of insights about your business. So if you wanted to get some kind of insights about your business, you need to understand the data. So if you wanted to understand the data, you need to have the data. Okay, you need to have the data. That data is there here. So that data is there here. So whatever the data that is coming from these multiple data sources, that our first agenda is to store the data into a single location, because this application may be running in some server. This file format may be in some location. This database is running in some other server, or these IoT devices are there in different formats. So what is our agenda? Our very first agenda, if you wanted to get some kind of insights from the business, our very first agenda is to extract this data from these multiple data sources and store it in a single location called data lake. Either you call it as a data lake or you call it as a staging area. Okay, whatever you can call. The very first thing our agenda is to store the data. Because if you wanted to understand the data, you need to have the entire data in a single location. That single location I am calling as a data lake. That single location I am calling as a data lake. What is a data lake? A data lake is a raw repository where you can store any amount of a data, any amount of any number of files, any file format. So that is what is a data lake. Okay, the very first activity we do is that data storage. So here you have the data sources. You take the data from this one and you store it here. Okay, so now you know that this data that is coming from this data, here you are storing the data, right? This data, whatever you have stored, may be having some kind of a issues, right? Maybe having some kind of a inaccuracy because of duplicates, maybe because of some null values, maybe it's because of some other issues. This data, whatever you have stored, is having some kind of a duplicates or whatever it is. So if you try to analyze the data directly, if you try to analyze this data directly, if I try to analyze this data directly, whatever the insights that I am getting, can you guys tell me, is the insights are accurate or inaccurate? If the data itself it is having some kind of a inaccuracy, whatever the insights that you are getting, is insights are perfect or not? No, it is because that the data itself it is wrong, and whatever the analysis that you have done is still again wrong. So that's the reason the insights that you're getting is again wrong. So which will not be able to improve your business. Which will not be able to improve your business. That means your data is having some kind of issues. So by default, whatever the business you are doing, whatever the data that you are getting from the data sources, for sure will have some kind of inaccuracies. For sure will have some kind of inaccuracies. What we have to do? So whenever you have a inaccuracies in the data, the very first activity once you have the data, you need to process it. You need to do what, sir? You need to do the data processing. So data processing is nothing but adding some kind of a value to your data. Adding some kind of a value to your data. So maybe, so for example, your data here, whatever the data that you have stored here. So what you do, you extract this data and you process it. What is mean by processing, sir? We will be removing the null values. Sorry, we will be removing the duplicates. We will be handling the null values. We will be doing some kind of a column renaming. We will be doing some kind of aggregation. So what we try to do is that we are adding some kind of a value to the data, and whatever the inaccuracies that was there in the data, we are trying to remove it. We are trying to remove it in the data processing step. In the data processing step, in the data lake, we are storing the data. In the data processing step, we are transforming the data or processing the data in such a way that whatever the inaccuracies that are there from the data sources, we are successfully removing it. We are successfully removing it. Now this data is cleaned data now. So you can also call it, instead of processing, you can also clean also, you can mention. So whatever the data that is the output of this data processing, that is what we call as a cleaned data. We're cleaning the data. So that data is, we are going to store it here again in the warehousing. Okay, here we are going to store it in the warehousing for the analysis purpose. Here we do the analysis. Okay, so what is this data warehouse? A data warehouse is an entire enterprise warehouse solution. So you will be having your entire enterprise data in a single location. That is what we call as a data warehouse. Data warehouses are comes up with a built-in SQL query engine. Built-in query engine which is capable of running the SQL queries. So with the help of the single language called SQL, we are going to do the analysis on top of our data. Those analysis will give you some kind of insights. Those analysis will give you some kind of insights. These insights are very useful for the business. These insights are very useful for the business. So You are trying to do some kind of analysis in a warehouse using a simple language called SQL, because the warehouses comes up with a built-in query engine which are capable of running the SQL queries. Okay, so that is what you do in the warehouse. Okay, so after that, these insights can be shown with the help of the BI. We usually we call it as a cosmetic changes. Cosmetic changes. Some business intelligence people try to create some kind of a reports or dashboards on top of our data that is there in the data warehouse. As maybe some machine learning engineer is there, he will use the data for the creating machine learning models. Or there may be a data scientist who will be using this data for finding the future trends. Or there may be a business group directly utilizing this data to make the decision in the business. So such kind of a decisions nowadays you are seeing, right? So Amazon sales, or maybe Flipkart big billion days. So these are all such a kind of a suggestions or business decisions actually comes from these kind of a insights only, guys. I'm telling you. Earlier you do not have this big billion days when the Flipkart has started the business. No, because at that point of time data engineering was not that famous. Now every business nowadays has to focus on the data engineering, data analytics, because whatever they are doing the business, they need to know how the business is doing, they need to know how to improve the business. So that is the reason every company, whatever you call, needs to have a data engineer for processing their data, needs to have a data analytics person for analyzing the data properly. We do the analysis, but creating the dashboards or machine learning, so such kind of engineers. So what is data engineering? Data engineering is foundation. Data engineering is foundation, guys. So if you think that, sir, I wanted to go for data analytics, no, don't go for that. I wanted to go for machine learning, don't directly go. Okay, don't go for data science directly. What I would suggest is that you start with the foundation. You learn all the foundational things such as data sources, data storage, data processing, data analysis, data insights. So then you go for the visualization. If you wanted to go for visualization such as BI or ML or data scientist, because even if you wanted to go for data scientist, you need to first know the data engineering. Again, data engineering. Again, data engineering. The very first thing. Data engineering is evergreen, guys. Data engineering was there 10 years before. Data engineering is will be there 10 years after also. But not sure about whether the BIE will be there very famous or not. Or whether machine learning. So these are famous or not, we are not sure. But data engineering is a foundation, for sure it will be there. Okay, so this is what is data engineering. Okay, in a data engineering, you get the data from the multiple data sources. You store it, you process it, you analyze it, you visualize it with the multiple tools. And also you make sure the data is accurate throughout the platform. Sorry. So you make sure that the data is accurate and complete throughout the platform with the help of the data governance and monitoring. Okay, very, very important topic, because whatever the data that we are dealing with, you have to inform your client saying that I have received this much amount of a data. I am sending this much amount of a data and it does not have any accuracy problems. So otherwise your client may be thinking that this data may have some kind of a inaccuracy. Whatever the decisions I am taking, which is not confidently I am taking. Okay, so if he wanted to take the decisions confidently, you need to provide the data governance. That means accuracy of the data, completeness of the data. So that is also a one part of the data engineering itself. So this is what is data engineering, sir. Very, very simple. If you wanted to construct a home, you need to have a data, you need to have a raw material such as sand, bricks, water, equipment. You need to store it in a single location. You need to prepare a mixture of sand with water as well as you know cement. Then you construct a wall brick by brick. That's where your home is created. That's where your house is created. And after that, you need to add colors, right? So that your home looks cosmetically good. So that is where you add colors with it. So this is what is similar to your civil engineering. Okay, so in a data engineering, we are getting the data from the multiple data sources. We store it in a single location called a data lake. We process it, we analyze it, and we also take care of the data governance and monitoring. And we make sure these arrow marks are indicating the pipeline. We are not making sure everything manually doing. We don't want it to do the things manually. We are automating it with the help of the pipelines. Okay, so this is also one more thing that comes under the data engineering only, data pipeline creations. Okay, so in a definition wise, let us try to see data engineering is a process of collecting the data, organizing the data, preparing the large amounts of the data for the data analysis purpose. Okay, it is a process of collecting the data, organizing the data, preparing the large amounts of the data for the analysis purpose. This may involve designing and building the infrastructure that allow data to be captured, processed, and accessed efficiently. As I told you, we don't wanted to do the things manually. We wanted to make the things happening automatically. For that purpose, we are going to build the systems and infrastructure that allow this data to be captured from the multiple data sources and process it and analyze it efficiently. So this is what is data engineering, guys. Okay, so this is what is data engineering. Hope you guys got some idea about the data engineering. I don't want you guys to learn everything today itself, because data engineering is ocean. Okay, data engineering is ocean. It's a foundation, it's a ocean. There are plenty of things are there in the data engineering. Just to give you some idea about the data engineering, I'm giving you some idea. If you if you are actually working on a data engineering already, know, you will come to know that, okay, so my data sources are coming from these things, and my data destinations are these things. Every day we are doing this activity. So you will get to know that your entire project flow when you are working in a company. So this is what is data engineering. Okay, so hope you got some idea. Let me take a 1 minute pause. If anyone have any questions, please raise your hand. Don't ask me about the course curriculum, because we just started the movie. A movie is of 1.5 hours. Okay, we are just at the first 15 minutes. After that, I will talk about the course curriculum, course details. In next 15 minutes, I will talk about the course curriculum, course topics that we are going to cover, everything in detail. I am going to tell you. Just give me 15-20 minutes so that I will talk about it. Before that, I want you guys to understand about what is data engineering and what is Google Cloud Platform. Okay, and after that, now I wanted to tell you the role of a data engineer. What does data engineer do every day? Right, sir, I wanted to become a data engineer. I would like to know what he is doing every day. If I don't, if it is not that much, you know, easy, and it is not that much what we call it as interesting, I don't want it to become a data engineer. Okay, if it is interesting, then only I will become a data engineer. If you think that this is what is the role of a data engineer, this is what the data engineer do every day. He gets the data from the multiple data sources and ingest it into the data lake layer. That is called as data ingestion. He collect the data from the multiple data sources. He put it into a layer where we wanted to store it. Okay, that is the very first activity. So you may be having some 50 to 20, 50 to 70 data sources. If you are working in a company, you may be having 15 to 20 or 50 to 50 data sources will be there. Multiple data engineers working on multiple data sources. So that is a very first activity, that you need to connect it to your source system, extract the data. That is first activity. Data storage and management. You need to think about when you need to store the data, and you need to find a solution how to store the data, where to store the data, and how to control the access to that particular data, how to protect the data. So all of this comes under the data storage and management, because data storage is one of the biggest problem for the data engineers, because maybe 10 years before you are dealing with a small amount of data, but now at this current era you are dealing with a huge amounts of the data every day, every minute, I would say. So your first agenda is that you need to find a solution. That solution should be scalable. That means it should be able to withstand any amount of data. And you need to control the access to the data. If someone needs an access, you should be able to provide it, because it should not be public. And you need to protect the data from the other threats also. Okay, so all of these things you need to worry about it every day. That is comes under the data storage and management. And the next thing, as I told you, data processing. Data processing can be done using the Spark, can be done using the Apache Beam, can be done using the SQL. So every day, multiple data engineers, 70% of your time focuses on the data processing only. As a data engineer, if you are a full-fledged data engineer, 70% of your time focused on the data processing only. This may involve creating the data pipelines. Sorry. This may involve creating the data pipelines, data transformation, data value addition, data cleaning, data preparing. So multiple activities comes under the data processing using a multiple tools such as Apache Beam or data flow, sorry, Spark, Hadoop, multiple things comes into the picture. Multiple frameworks come into the picture for data processing. Okay, so that is what you need to think about, which framework you have to use it. You need to think about which engine you have to use it. You need to think about how to create the pipeline. You need to think about how to deploy those pipelines also. Okay, that we will see in our upcoming sessions. And as I told you, data quality and governance is one of the major aspect for a senior data engineers. They should worry about whatever the data that you're dealing with in the project are accurate and complete throughout the process or not. So that is also, they need to create some kind of a framework. That framework should always calculate the data quality and governance. So that is also one more important aspect for the senior data engineers. As I told you, you have to create the data pipelines, because we don't want it to make the things manually. We wanted to everything works in a scheduled fashion or a streamlined. So you are going to create a batch pipelines, you are going to create a streaming pipelines. So you should think about it, how to create the batch and how to create the stream. That we will see in our upcoming sessions, how to create the batch pipelines, how to create the streaming pipelines also. Performance optimization. If you're going for an interview without a performance optimization question, you will not come out of the interview. Very important aspect, performance optimization. If some tool, if you write some SQL query, or you written some PySpark code, or you written some Beam code, or you have some pipeline, if it is taking more time, your manager will call you and ask you, can you do the performance optimization and reduce the time? He asks you to reduce the time. So that is what we call as a performance optimization. So if you wanted to do the optimizing the performance, you need to be perfect at SQL. You need to have a good knowledge on the PySpark, good knowledge on the Beam, good knowledge on the pipeline. So why they ask in the interviews is this, because if you are able to answer the question in the performance optimization, that guy is aware of all these hours, all these concepts. Okay, that is what the interviewer think, because if you are able to optimize the data, that means you are already having a profound knowledge on the all the topics in the data engineering. So that's the reason every interview, if you go for performance optimization, they're going to ask you whether they may ask you SQL optimization, PySpark code optimization, or Apache Beam code optimization? What are the performance metrics that you have taken care in your project for each and every framework? So they're going to ask you these questions. In our upcoming sessions, we will worry about the storage optimization as well as code optimization. We will worry about it. Okay. So those two things, performance optimization, we will worry about it. Okay. And final thing, monitoring and maintenance. So you have created a pipeline, you need to monitor it all the time, right? So a dedicated data engineer, whenever the pipelines are running, he should be monitoring this. He should be monitoring this. Otherwise, the pipelines may get failed. If the pipeline is getting failed, the downstream people are getting the wrong data. You don't want someone to get the wrong data so that they take it wrong decisions. You don't want it to do that. So that is the reason you always monitor the pipeline. If something goes wrong, you try to fix it as soon as possible. So that comes under the data monitoring and maintenance activities. Okay, so this is what we call, this is what the data engineer do every day. So he may work on the data ingestion, he will be working on the data storage, he will be working on the processing, quality assurance, data pipeline creation, optimizing some codes or pipelines, or monitoring the pipeline. So this is what the data engineer do every day, guys. So this is what is a data engineer do every day. Okay. Hope you guys got some idea about the data engineering as well as role of a data engineer. We completed 2 activities now. I have told you 2 things, guys. One is in what is data engineering. What is data engineering? I talked about one is what overview. I have given you overview of an entire data engineering, and I have told you about the role of a data engineer. So these are the 2 things that we have seen now. Okay, those who have missed it, don't worry about it. Those who have just joined, don't worry. So now I am going to talk about what is Google Cloud Platform. We will talk about what is GCP, and then we will see the course curriculum, guys. Okay, in next 10 minutes I will talk about the GCP, and after that we will talk about the course curriculum and everything. What is Google Cloud Platform? Even before that, you might have already know about the AWS. Can you guys tell me? Can you speak up? Do you guys know about the AWS? Don't think that you already know about all the things. I just need to ask you, have you guys heard about AWS? Heard about it? I hope you guys have heard about AWS. I hope you guys have heard about Azure also. I hope some of the people might have heard about GCP, some not have heard about it. But let me gonna tell you guys. AWS, Azure, GCP. These are all the 3 leading cloud providers. These are all the 3 leading cloud providers, I would say. Leading cloud providers. Okay, so these are all the 3 leading cloud providers, guys. One is AWS, one is Azure, one more is GCP. Okay, so AWS, Azure, and GCP are the 3 leading cloud providers. What they do, sir? They provide you the cloud computing services. What they provide? They provide you the cloud computing services. These services are very useful for the business. Okay, these services, whatever the cloud computing services that they are providing, these services are very useful for the organizations. Very useful, I'm telling you guys, very useful for the organization. Tomorrow I am going to talk about how the cloud platforms benefiting us. Why we need the cloud platforms, I am going to talk about tomorrow, guys, which is going to be a very, very important topic. That is tomorrow. But focus on today's topic, that is what is Google Cloud Platform. Okay, so AWS, Azure, and GCP, these are the 3 leading cloud providers. They provide you the cloud computing services. These services are very useful for the organizations to build some application. or deploy some application, or scale some application, or store some data, process some data, analyze some data, or visualize some data. Okay. Similarly, these services are very useful for networking. These services are very useful for machine learning. Okay, so this is what the organization gets benefit from. So whatever the service that they are providing, those services are very useful for the organizations to build the application, deploy the application, scale the applications and services in the cloud. So if you wanted to store some data, or process some data, or analyze some data, or visualize some data, you need these tools. So cloud providers providing you the cloud computing services, which are very useful for the organizations to do their activity, to complete their project. If they wanted to build some application, they can do it with using these cloud computing services. Because if you don't using these cloud computing services, you have to build your own service. Creating your own servers takes a lot of time, lot of effort, and lot of money, which companies don't want it to do that. So that's the reason they are depending on the cloud computing services, because these services are ready-made available. Okay, in a simple words, if you wanted to assume that you got a job in Hyderabad, assume that you got a job in Hyderabad. Where do you stay in Hyderabad? There are two ways. Either you can construct your own house there, right? You can construct your own house. Tell me guys, how much time it will take? How much money it will take? How much effort it will take? It will take lot of money, lot of effort, lot of time. Is there any alternative that we can stay in the Hyderabad? Can anyone tell me? Can you guys tell me? If I wanted to stay in Hyderabad, if I get a job, the first method is that I can construct my own house, which takes a lot of time, lot of effort, lot of money. But I'm not sure how many months I'm staying, how many years I'm staying. That I'm not sure. What is the alternative, guys, for us?
Rented house.
We, PGs are, we can go for our rent, right? We can rent a house. So that we rent a house, we don't need to worry about putting a lot of money, lot of effort, lot of time. You can directly go and stay there. Okay, so this is what is the second option. This is nothing but you are creating your own servers, creating your own infrastructure. That is what we call it a on-premises environment. In an on-premises environment, you need to worry about making sure of everything is taken care by you. You need to create the infrastructure. You need to purchase the infrastructure first. You need to purchase the systems. You need to create an infrastructure. Then you need to install all the softwares. Then you go for the development. Okay, that is what we call as a constructing your own homes. That's the reason on-premises takes a lot of time, lot of money, lot of effort. But if you rent it, renting is nothing but a cloud. Okay, renting is nothing but what, sir? Ready-made house is already available. Ready-made house is already available. You go and stay there. Similarly, ready-made services for your own project requirement purpose is already available in the cloud. Ready-made services are already available in the cloud. You go and utilize those services directly. You don't need to create your own service. Creating your own service takes a lot of time, lot of money, lot of effort. What you do? Already ready-made available services are there. For storing the data, I'll directly store the data. If I wanted to store the data here, what I have to do? I have to purchase the storing device. I have to create or connect it to the multiple systems, take care of the networking, take care of the cabling, take care of the backup storage, assign the storage, install the operating system, install the softwares, or install the storage devices such as Hadoop or whatever it is. Then you store the data. So that much amount of time, you are putting a lot of effort, money and time. So for storing some data. But if you go for a service in Google Cloud Platform, you have cloud storage, you directly go and store it, the data here. Hardly 1 minute here. Here it takes like even days, weeks, and sometimes months also even take. So for storing, you are putting a lot of effort, lot of money, and it is taking even months also. But for storing the same data here in 1 minute itself. So that's the reason most of the companies going for the cloud. Okay, so that is the reason you have here nowadays AWS, Azure, and GCP are the leading cloud providers. They provide you the cloud computing services. They provide you the cloud computing services. These services are very useful. If your project is to build application, you don't need to worry about creating a server. You can directly have the server created in the GCP itself. You can build an application. Tomorrow scale it, you can do it easily. So that is what the cloud platforms do. So one of such a cloud platform is a Google Cloud Platform, everyone. One of such a cloud platform is a Google Cloud Platform. GCP, we usually call it as Google Cloud Platform, is a leading cloud provider which provides you the cloud computing services for the organizations to build the application, deploy the application, scale the application services in the cloud. So this is what is Google Cloud Platform, everyone. Okay, so why Google Cloud Platform, I will tell you later. Okay, so why Google Cloud Platform, I will tell you in few minutes. But what is Google Cloud Platform, if you ask me? Google Cloud Platform is one of the leading cloud providers which provides you the cloud computing services for the organizations to build the application, deploy the application, and scale the applications and services in the cloud, which are very useful for the organization, cost effective, less effort we have to put, less time taken for the project to be completed. So this is what is Google Cloud Platform. The same thing I have mentioned here. Google Cloud Platform is a suite of cloud computing provider provided by the Google that offers range of products and solutions for the organizations to build, deploy, and scale the applications and services in the cloud. Right? So it offers a range of products and solutions. Sir, can you tell me what are those services? What are those solutions? Let me talk about it. So why I have not put here the image? Here it is, guys. What are those services? If you ask me, it will provide you the services such as compute, identity and security, management tools, networking tools, big data tools, storage and database services, machine learning services. Our main focus is on big data, storage and database services, IAM. So these are the things that we are going to focus as a data engineer. So Google Cloud Platform is a vast. It provides you the services for each and every developer. We as a data engineer focuses on the big data, storage and database services. Okay, so this is what is Google Cloud Platform, everyone. This is what is Google Cloud Platform. Very simple. It's a cloud provider, provides you the cloud computing services. Organizations are getting benefited from these services. Okay, these services are highly reliable, secure, provides you the scalable infrastructure, and it has a global network of data centers throughout the world. Throughout the world, it has a global network and data centers. So this is what is Google Cloud Platform. We will try to learn even more than this one. This is to give you some idea. Okay, this is to give you some idea. And why we learn GCP? It's because Google Cloud Platform has the community support. Because we've been using the GCP or we've been using the Google products from the last decade, I would say. And Google products are trustworthy. So Google has a very good community support. One more biggest advantage why companies are started using the GCP, it is because of cost effective nature. Google Cloud Platform services or solutions or products are cost effective compared to the AWS and Azure. Okay, GCP products are cost effective compared to the AWS and Azure. So that is the reason most of the companies are started using the GCP only. Because if you're getting the same service with less cost, then why we have to go for other tools? So that's the reason most of the companies The market share for the GCP is increased because of this one only. These services are flexible and scalable, scaling up and down as per the requirement we can do it. Trustworthy, secure, secure in transit as well as in the state, and it also provides you the multiple category of services such as fully managed service, virtual based machine services, as well as serverless services also it will provide. We will see in our upcoming sessions what is the difference between the fully managed services as well as serverless services. And these services are fast and the interface is also very simple. Okay, so it has a very good community support, cost effective services, flexible, scalable, reliable, secure, fully managed and fast. And it is one of the market leader. Out of 3, it is one of them. Industry adaptation is there. Comprehensive service portfolio. I have just shown you the services, right? The category of services. Comprehensive service portfolio is there. Can be integrated with a local or cloud services also. Provides you the machine learning capabilities as well. Have the global infrastructure throughout the world. Very useful in the multi-cloud projects. Certification. Whoever has done the certification in the GCP has a very good career growth. Okay, so this is what is Google Cloud Platform. This is why we should learn the Google Cloud Platform. And you can also see the growth rate. So growth rate for the GCP in the last quarter compared to the other cloud platforms, it is very high. 54% of the Google Cloud Platform growth rate, guys. For other cloud, it is 51. For the AWS, it is 32. Okay. Even there are few projects who are moving from AWS to the Google Cloud Platform also. So that's how the famous nowadays the GCP is becoming. Most of the people not aware of it. So they are not able to get the job in the AWS and Azure. I'll tell you a simple logic, guys. So what people do is the mistake. This is what they do. So they are coming from a different background. Okay, let me gonna tell you a simple and easy why GCP, why not Azure. I will tell you. It's not that they are not famous. AWS, AWS and Azure, very famous. I would say these are very famous. I'm not saying that these are not famous. These are very famous. These are having a very good market share compared to the GCP. These are very famous and these are having very good market share. That means they are there in the market from the last 5 years. Last not even 5, more than 5, 7 years. They are there in the market from the last 7 years. Now tell me, if you are learning some course, so you are coming from a different background, right? So you are coming from some testing background, I would say here. So there are some people coming from the mechanical background, right? Mechanical. The spelling is wrong. Mechanical or non-IT, I would say. So there are few people coming from the IT. In the IT, that is maybe coming from testing background, maybe coming from the database developers, or maybe coming from the ETL background, maybe coming from the mainframe background, right? So multiple people are there that they are coming from the multiple backgrounds, right? But your main agenda is to get the job. Okay, your main agenda is to get the job. There are few people coming from non-IT also. So their agenda is to get the job. It's not that you wanted to be there in the famous or you wanted to be there in some cloud platform. It's not that. Your main agenda is job. So getting the job, for getting the job, what you try to do? You wanted to learn some course. So people say is that AWS and Azure is very famous. You go and learn it. You started learning it and you learn the course. Now you go for the interview. Now tell me guys, whom we competing with the interview? In the interview, whom we are competing with? Can you guys tell me? Whom we are competing with? We are competing with those people already professionals, because AWS and Azure is already there from the last 7 years. Like at 2024, you are learning some course, but it is there in the last 7 years. Like you in 2018 itself, 2019 itself, plenty of the people have learnt these courses, and now they become a data engineers. Now they are also, they are become a professionals now. So with the 3 plus 4 plus years of experience, they have it in the AWS and Azure now. Now, if you are going for an interview, you are actually competing with these people only. Now tell me, the chances of getting the job is less or high? Okay, so this is what people do mistake. They go for AWS and Azure. Why I have started GCP? I was teaching Azure 2 years before, 1.5 year before. I was teaching Azure only. I'm a trainer for Azure. Okay, so why I'm teaching GCP is because that GCP has a plenty of opportunities, but very less manpower. It's because everyone, whoever is learning, they think that AWS is having good market, AWS is Azure is having a good market. Both are like a brand, and they started without thinking second thought. They will go for and join the course and they will learn it, but they will go for interview. They are not able to get the job easily, because you are getting competed with the professionals who are already there with a good experience of 3 to 4 real-time experience. Getting the job is very hard, so that's where they again go back to their own jobs. They again go back to their own field. So this is what happening currently. But that is not the case for the GCP. That is not the case for the GCP, because GCP is new. Only from the 3 years, hardly 3 years. People is having 3 years means he's a very, very lucky. Okay, only last 2 years it is famous. It is again having a very good market share. It's because of its cost effective nature, very good market is there. That means plenty of companies started using it. So if you learn the GCP, you are competing with whom? 2 plus years? No. 2 plus years, the GCP is available from. It's not that 2 plus from the last 2 years, no one has learned the GCP at all. I am telling you. Only this year people started learning the GCP. Last year also, most of the people does not know about the GCP at all. Very rarely people know about the GCP in 1.5 year before. That means you are learning some course and you are going for interview. Whom you are competing with? Can I tell you? Whom you are competing with? Like you, someone has learning the course. Like you, someone has learning the course. So you are also learning with, you are competing with those people who are learning the course. Now tell me, getting the job is easy or not? So this is what you have to do. End of the day, all the cloud platforms are same. End of the day, AWS, Azure and GCP all are same. Whether you are a data engineer in AWS, whether you are a data engineer Azure or a GCP, it doesn't matter. If you are able to work in GCP, you should be able to work in Azure and AWS. It doesn't matter. But companies are looking for those people who have a very good experience on the GCP. If you have at least 3 plus years of experience on the GCP, at least 3 plus total and 2 plus on the GCP, you get at least 20 calls. You get at least 20 calls. 20 calls means 20 opportunities. Not even a single job nowadays getting a 20 opportunities. 20 plus 20 to 30 opportunities you will get. Not even a single job nowadays gives you this many calls. You have it for the GCP. It's because GCP is booming. GCP is future. Okay, GCP is one of the leading cloud provider. They provide you the effective services, cost effective services. So that's the reason most of the companies started looking towards a GCP. Now even you go for a GCP interview also, if you ask the other person who is coming for an interview, they say that I am also learned from this particular institute, that particular institute. And you will also find less institute for the GCP because people does not even aware of it. Okay, so this is what is GCP, guys. So getting the job with the GCP is same. Getting the learning some course AWS and Azure, the learning capability for AWS, Azure or GCP is same. If you wanted to learn a course, all these are same only. But getting the job is important. Here it is a hard, here it is easy to get it. So that is what you have to do. This is what the people do a mistake and they go for back. They learn these courses and they will go back to their own background again because they are competing with the people and they are get demotivated and they go for their own job. But for the GCP, one or two interviews, they are not able to crack it. From the third interview onwards, every interview, they are able to crack it. I'm telling you guys, there are people who got 5 offer letters also. 5 offer letters also. From 12 LP to 27 LPA, one of the guy got. Directly from, with a 3.5 years of experience, one of the guy from 12 LPA to 27 LPA. That's how the demand for the GCP data engineer, because very less manpower, very good amount of opportunities are there, but very less people are attending the interviews. Okay, so getting the job is very easy. You can even get 3 to 4 offer letters also. So that's how that. So if you wanted to be as a data engineering trending job and you wanted to get a very good hike, I'm telling you guys, this course is for you. Okay, so this is what is Google Cloud Platform. And it provides you the multiple offers, multiple roles. We are focusing on the GCP data engineer in this particular course. It provides you developer, admin, DevOps engineer, architect. Out of all these things, our main focus is on this particular thing, guys. Okay. So we are going to focus on this GCP data engineering in our particular course. And for those people who wanted to go for certification, GCP provides you 2 certification for the GCP data engineer. The very first one, you can go for the associate cloud engineer, professional data engineer. For these, both of them, if you wanted to crack it, I will provide you the notes. I will provide you the notes. You can able to easily crack it. Okay. Yeah. These are the service portfolio I have told you already. Now let me talk about the course curriculum. Now let me talk about the course curriculum, guys. So far I have talked about what is Google Cloud Platform, what is data engineering we have seen. Now let me talk about the course curriculum. So the course curriculum I have divided into 2 things. Okay, course curriculum I have divided into 2 things. One is GCP basics, nothing but a GCP cloud basics. Nothing, one more is GCP data engineering tools. So I have divided our course curriculum into 2 things. One is cloud basics. One more is our cloud is GCP. Okay, our cloud is GCP. So cloud, GCP cloud basics, GCP data engineering tools. Okay, first thing I am going to talk about the cloud basics. So in the cloud basics, we are going to start with cloud overview. Why we need the cloud platform? On-premises versus cloud platforms difference. That is our module 1. And in the second module, I am going to talk about the introduction, why we learn GCP, opportunities and certifications. That is our second thing. And in the third module, we are talking about the GCP interfaces. So what is console? What is Cloud Shell? What is SDK? How to work with these multiple data interfaces? How do we work with it? We are going to see it. And after that, I will talk about the console walkthrough, free account creation. So I'm going to tell you how to create a free tier account in the GCP, guys, which is very useful for you to practice every day. So sir, where do I practice it? Sir, how do I implement the pipelines? How do I create the pipelines? So for all of those things, I am going to tell you how to create a free tier account in the GCP, which is valid for the 90 days. you can use it for free. Okay, I'm going to tell you how to create it, and I will tell you how to do the project setup and how to work with enabling the billing and APIs. And the fifth module, GCP locations, regions, zones, selection criteria, and importance. I am an admin, identities, roles, policy, resource hierarchy. So these are all our cloud basics, guys. So these are all the module, 6 modules are there. We are going to take 7 days to complete it. We will take 7 days to complete these basics. These are cloud basics, guys. Then we are going to enter into our GCP data engineering tools. So according to the data categorization, we have unstructured data, semi-structured data, structured data. In Google Cloud Platform, if you wanted to work with unstructured data, you have a GCS. Semi-structured data, you have a big table. For structured OLTP data, Cloud SQL. For structured OLAP data, BigQuery. Don't worry about what is OLTP, what is OLAP, all of those things we will see in our upcoming sessions. Focus on the topics. Here you have 1, 2, 3, 4. Total 4 topics are there here. Data engineering tools. This we call it as a storage and database services. Storage and database services. So here, storage, GCS, Bigtable, Cloud SQL, Cloud BigQuery. So these are the 4 tools that we are going to cover here. And for those data engineers, you need to create the pipelines every day using the Spark and Apache Beam and pipelines. So if you wanted to create the Spark pipelines or Hadoop pipelines, we need to have the PySpark knowledge. Here I am going to teach you the PySpark first thing. Here I am going to teach you the PySpark. I will talk about it maybe later. Okay, I'll talk about it later. So here we are going to create the data pipelines, Spark pipelines and Hadoop pipelines using the Dataproc. Using the PySpark, guys. Using the PySpark, I am going to tell you how to create the Spark pipelines. Similarly, using that Apache Beam, using the data flow and Apache Beam, we are going to create the Beam pipelines. Apache Beam pipelines are very famous in the GCP. Okay, so I'm going to teach you how to create the Beam pipelines using the data flow. Code free, sir. I wanted to create the pipelines using the code free environment, using the data fusion without writing any code. Also, you can create the pipelines. We are going to talk about the data fusion also. And sir, whatever the pipelines that we have created, I have 100 pipelines, 120 pipelines. I wanted to orchestrate them. So for orchestrating your pipelines, we are having Airflow or Composer. We are having Airflow or Composer for orchestrating the pipelines, guys. So this is our. So here it is 1, 2, 3, 4. Again here also 4. So these are all data pipeline creation tools. Next thing, streaming data ingestion. Sir, I wanted to work with the streaming data tools. You have a PubSub. Sir, I wanted to work with event-based solution. You have a cloud functions. Sir, I wanted to create the infrastructure. I am going to teach about the Terraform. So here 1, 2, 3. For working with the streaming data tools, we have a PubSub, Cloud PubSub, which is similar to the Kafka. Cloud-based solution, event-based solutions such as like Azure functions or Amazon Lambda functions. Similarly here, you have a cloud functions. Terraform for creating the infrastructure. Here 3. Okay, so this is our actually final topic. And in between our sessions, I am going to teach you the Linux basics, Python crash course, PySpark concepts, Apache Beam concepts. So these are all the language specific. So we will be learning about the Linux basic. These are complementary topics. Python crash course, PySpark concepts, Beam concepts. So one must be able to create the pipelines using the PySpark by the end of this course. One must be able to create the Beam pipelines by the end of this course. One must be comfortable writing a code in the Python also. One must be comfortable writing a script in the Linux also. All of those things is the agenda, guys. So these are all the topics also we are covered here also 4. Okay. So look at here, 4 plus 3, 7 plus 4, 11 plus 4, 15 tools we are going to cover in addition to the cloud basics. In addition to the cloud basics, we are going to cover all of these things. Okay, and I'm going to show you my notes. I'm going to provide you the notes as I told you, right? So this is how our notes looks like, guys. 1 minute. Let me drag it down. So here is our notes. Everything is here. Each and every topic, the content and the recapitulation, if you wanted to recap it, all the things are here. This is our course content, the cloud basics, description for each and every concept that we are going to cover. So you might have got a PDF also in the chart. You guys can go through the course content in detail. GCP locations, I am an admin. Data engineering tools, cloud storage, cloud SQL, Bigtable, BigQuery, Dataproc, Dataflow, Cloud PubSub, Airflow, Data Fusion, Terraform. So some people will ask me, what is the prerequisite for this course? Sir, can you tell me the prerequisite for this course? Some people will ask me. The prerequisite for this course is SQL. SQL basics is the prerequisite for this course, guys. I'm telling you, you need to have a basic knowledge on the SQL. This is the prerequisite for this course. Okay, so prerequisite for this course, basic knowledge on the SQL is very important for this course. All other things such as Python, PySpark, Beam, Linux, we are going to learn in the classes itself. In our regular sessions, we are going to learn it. Okay, yeah. So you have all the topics. Okay, so I'll give you the time, guys. If anyone have any questions, I will give you the time. Yeah, please. Okay, look at here. So for those people, sir, this job is mainly for two people who wanted to go for job, who wanted to go for certification. Those who wanted to go for the job, sir, I am not able to create a resume properly after the course. I have here created the resume templates. Those who got the job. Okay, these are the resumes of those people who got the job. You can go and refer these resumes. Sir, I am unable to tell the proper introduction in the interview. I am unable to tell the proper project flow and architecture diagram. So you have here introduction whenever you are going for an interview, and the project flow for project 1, project flow for project 2 that we are going to cover. Okay, here we have. Sir, I need that interview questions. Sir, you have the data engineering interview questions, topic wise interview questions. Topic wise interview questions. Topic and the SQL questions. Nowadays, people asking the coding SQL questions, coding questions, SQL as well as Python. So these are the questions not copied from any Google or anywhere. These are the questions copied from directly from the interviews. So they give some table A and table B, and they give some values for the table A and table B. They are asking how many joints will be there in the inner, left, right, full, and fifth highest salary. And these kind of questions are coming directly from the interviews. Every day I'll be adding here. Okay. And Python questions also the same thing. The difference between the list tuple, set, dictionary, and item count in a list, word count in a string, to find the count of each element in a list. So all of these things they are going to ask you in the interviews, guys. You have everything here. Okay, so this is how every day I'll be adding the questions. Okay, you can see here. I think last week itself I added these 5 questions from the interview itself. I'm telling you. For those people who are going for a certification, you have the dumps for it, so you can able to easily crack the certification exam. You have here associate cloud engineer dumps, professional data engineer dumps also. Okay, so this is what it is. So this course is a fully packed course, guys. Everything is properly planned. You have everything in the single location itself. I will provide the access to these notes. Okay, so once if I provide access to this note, you will be having an access to all these things separately. You don't need access. You have an access to all of these things. Okay, yeah. And we are going to start with cloud basics. Account creation, I will tell you. SDK, Linux basics, Python crash course, notebook. Google Cloud Storage, what is Google Cloud Storage? Working with the Google Cloud Storage. Assignments also you will be having it here. For every topic you will be having assignments, guys, I'm telling you. Cloud SQL also you have it here. What is Cloud SQL? Data migration. In the Cloud SQL, we are going to talk about data migration project. We are going to implement the data migration project for manual method and data migration method. Assignments. BigQuery. What is BigQuery? Working with the BigQuery. Architecture of the BigQuery. Partitioning and clustering in the BigQuery. Nested and repeated fields. Views. Assignments. Case study. Spotify case study. And case study. Social media case study. Dataproc. Introduction to the Hadoop. Hadoop versus Spark. Spark and PySpark. Spark architecture. What is Dataproc? How to create the data pipelines in the Dataproc using the PySpark. So PySpark job creations. Installing the PySpark, Spark session, creating Spark session, everything here. Lab sessions. You have the lab notebooks here. And you have assignments also. Case study 1, case study 2. These are the real-time case studies, guys, I'm telling you. Assignment 1, assignment 2, end-to-end pipeline. End-to-end batch pipeline, guys. This is an end-to-end batch pipeline. If I'm updating, if I am giving you an access, it will be updated for you guys. Okay. Data flow, introduction, Spark versus Beam, Dataproc versus data flow, lab sessions. See here, lab session, introduction, source, reading the data from source, loading the data to the destination, transforming the data, job 1 pipeline, job 2 pipeline, data sets also there, template method of creating the pipelines, end-to-end streaming pipeline using the PubSub. Okay, what is PubSub? We have it here, and the PubSub streaming pipeline is here. Similarly, you have Airflow. What is Composer or Airflow? Architecture, creation the DAG, cron job format, level 1 DAG, level 2 DAG, level 3 DAG, level 4 DAG, assignment, implementing the CI/CD with the cloud build and GitHub. Here we are going to give you, I am going to give you a CI/CD touch also. Some people needs to have some idea on CI/CD also, right? So that's the reason I'm going to tell you how to create a CI/CD in the Composer for orchestrating the things automatically using the cloud build and GitHub. And Terraform, our final topic. And we have a cloud functions also, I forgot. Cloud functions. What is cloud function? Cloud function 1, cloud function 2. Cloud function 2 is an assignment. And you have a data fusion also. What is data fusion? End-to-end pipeline in the data fusion. So everything is covered, guys, in the sessions. So this is our notes, and here we have everything, including the assignments and projects and pipelines also. Okay, and the course details. Course duration is 2 months. Okay, course duration is 2 months, guys. Daily 1 hour, Monday to Friday. And delivery online live sessions will be there. Add-ons, video recordings will be provided. Comprehensive material will be provided. Assignments, real-time projects and case studies, interview questions, certification dumps, resume assistance. I have shown you all of these things. So that's the reason now you will be able to see. I have given you the material, assignments are there, projects are there, case studies are there, and interview questions are also there, certification dumps are also there, resume templates are also there, right? So all of these things are there here. Prerequisite for the course, some people asked me already, I told you, familiarity with the SQL. SQL is the prerequisite for the course. So target audience, whoever you are, whether you are coming from IT or non-IT, whether you wanted to become a data engineer, if you wanted to become a data engineer, or you are from analyst or software engineer or developer or a database or a ETL developer or a business intelligence people, those who are planning for associate cloud engineer or a professional data engineering certifications, this course is for you guys. If you wanted to become a data engineer, whether you are from any background, okay, whether you are from any background, most of the people directly join the GCP. It's because getting the job with the GCP is easy. Okay, so this is what it is. So this is it for today's agenda, guys. I think as per the session, I have covered the entire topics. Please raise your hand if anyone have any question. Please raise your hand, guys. If anyone have any question, please raise your hand. If you have any questions, you can also put it in the chat also. I will go through it. So I see, sir. Yes, freshers can also learn this course, guys. Python is needed. Yes. Python is very important for the data engineers. Okay, you need to learn the GCP. Yes. Whether you are an IT or non-IT, whoever you are, if you are coming from any background, if you wanted to become a data engineer and with a less effort, GCP data engineer is one of the things. Okay, if anyone have any questions, you can ask me, guys. Certification will be highlighted in the interviews. So certification is important, not mandatory. Okay, certifications are important. If you know the certification, they will ask you, do you have the certification? If you say yes, you are having a, a little bit plus point compared to the other people. Okay, so that is what. So there are people who get a job without the certification also. There are people who get a job with certifications also. Okay, it's not mandatory, but having a certification is gives you a very good point compared to the other people in the interview. Yeah. Any other questions, anyone? If anyone have any questions, you can please ask me. You can mute yourself, you can unmute yourself, and you can talk to me, guys, if anyone have any questions. So this is it for today. Today is this one. Tomorrow I'm going to talk about our cloud overview. This is our tomorrow's topic. So we are going to talk about why we need the cloud platform. So very, very important topic. So if you are working in a business, how people actually work in an on-premises working culture, how people were facing with the on-premises or a traditional working model, how clear cloud came into the picture and solved all of those problems. Let us try to understand it tomorrow. So this is our tomorrow's topic. Okay. Yeah. Now tell me, guys, if anyone have any questions. Yes, please.
Yeah, hi sir.
Yeah. Yes, Srihari. Yeah. Yeah, so the knowledge on the SQL is basic. If you know the basics, that's more than enough because we are going to do the development in the class. Okay, so that's what. That's what. So those people, sir, how much knowledge on the SQL if you need, I have those things also. Okay, so where is that? Here it is, prerequisite. So SQL concept. I'm going to paste it in the chart. Okay, so data types. I think these are very, very basics I'm talking about. Okay, so I'm going to paste it in the chat. This much level of SQL, if you know the basics of these things, that means if you know a subquery, that is more than fine. If you know joins, rankings, aggregate, that's it. Knowing the things is more than enough. And all other development we can see in the classes. I'm going to paste it in the chat, guys, so you can go through. So if you do not know SQL also, I suggest you to go back and try to explore the knowledge on the SQL so that within max to max 5 days, if you sit for 1 hour every day, you can learn the SQL basic concepts. That's more than enough for this course. Yeah. Yes, Abdul Sheikh. Abdul Sheikh, you have any question?
Yeah, hi sir.
Yes, please. Yeah.
Uh, for for getting GCP job, we need
Yes.
to just learn the GCP like services, or we need
We are not
to
just learning. We have to have a practical knowledge on. So a real-time person who is having a 2 years of experience, 2 to 3 years of experience, I'm going to teach you that much level of experience in the classes because we are going to create that migration projects. We are creating the migration project. You might have seen, right? So migration projects, nested fields and partitioning and clustering is one of the advanced topic in the BigQuery. Nested and repeated fields, case studies, and data proc, end-to-end pipelines we are creating. Okay, we are learning the course. First thing, we are learning what is PySpark. Then we are we are studying the case studies and we are covering it. We are creating an end-to-end pipelines also. Here also the same thing. Template method also we are covering. Lab sessions, jobs, airflow, level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, CI/CD. CI/CD is not just for learning. We are practically implementing it. See, we are practically implementing it. Data fusion end-to-end pipeline is there. Extracting, transforming, and loading. Cloud function for event-based solution. GCS bucket to the BigQuery using the cloud function code is also there. We are developing the cloud. Terraform for creating the infrastructure. So everything is practical, guys. Nothing is theoretical here. My way of teaching, whether it was earlier, I have a very good, you know, background. I have a very good track record for Azure also. I used to teach Azure. Now I am teaching GCP. My teaching will be this one, guys. 80-20. 80 by 20 model. My teaching model is 80 by 20. What is mean by 80 is practical. Okay, practicals, or you can call it as a labs. 20 is theoretical. So if you know the theoretical things 20%, if you practice 80%, I'm telling you, you are ready for the job. Okay, so that is what is my teaching model. So the same thing we are going to see in our GCP also. 80% we are going to spend on labs. Maybe at the beginning you think that most of the things are theoretical, but after 1 week onwards, everything is practical only. Because if you wanted to learn the at least some basics, you need some 6 to 7 hours. After that, everything is going to be practical. I am going to the Google Cloud platform. I will tell you how to create a Google Cloud platform, and I will teach you how you guys have to work in the GCP. Okay, I have created my free tier account already, so you can see here. So we are going to create multiple things, GCS buckets, BigQuery, I am an admin, everything here. Okay, yeah. So hi, in this course, are you going to cover Cloud Spanner and Data Prep also? Cloud Spanner basics is covered, Data Prep we are not covering, guys. Cloud Spanner basics are covered here. Yes, Cloud Spanner is here, and Spanner instance creation and creating the tables. Yes, that is covered. And are you covering the Databricks on GCP? No. In this course, we are not covering the Databricks on GCP, guys. No. Maybe I should plan it. Maybe from next batch onwards, I should plan the Databricks on GCP also. Yeah. Yes, guys. Any other questions?
Oh, hi, sir. Good morning.
Good morning.
In real time, actually, as a project, they are using a Databricks in the GCP.
Yeah,
Actually, I
they are
want to know
using that. Yes, they are using.
most of the projects are using, or basically just they are going to
No,
start.
it's how you see Azure Databricks, GCP Databricks are going to be famous in few, I would say few months. Okay. They started using it. Even I have worked on one of the Databricks, because I come from a Databricks only. Okay, I am an employee at a Databricks. Okay, one thing I will tell you. So I worked on all the cloud platforms. So for Mahindra and Mahindra, we created one of the end-to-end DLT pipelines in the Databricks for GCP, Delta Live Tables. Okay, and similarly for the QB, we worked on GCP only. And I think I have a list of here also where I have worked on GCP for Databricks. Yeah, this is a Databricks client. So Jenny's project, I worked on GCP Databricks. For Techian, no, I think it was Azure. For CIQ commercial, it was a migration. Yeah, M&M project, it was GCP, guys. For QB also, it is GCP. So for most of the projects, we worked on GCP only. For Databricks, these are Databricks. When I say Databricks, it is Databricks only. Techian also performance optimization, Databricks only. M&M GCP Databricks project. Yeah. So yes, so it is also Techian is also Databricks, but on Azure. Yeah. So Databricks is famous, but the thing is that on GCP it is now, they are providing a full support. It's still, you can say, in a beta period, but they are providing the support. Yeah. Maybe in our upcoming sessions, maybe I'll try to add the Databricks also. Maybe from this batch only, I will try to add the Databricks, guys. Okay.
Okay, sure. So thanks.
I'll
One
try to
last
add
question,
some
sir. I'm
idea.
sorry.
Yes, please.
So actually, here in the Databricks, actually in the GCP, are we going to use as like only for a transformation purpose, or we are or for data extraction also we are using a Databricks in GCP?
In GCP, no, Databricks, see, it's like this. You have to understand the Databricks in a different way. It's not for the GCP. GCP is as a backend for the Databricks now. So Databricks itself, it is where you integrate the data from. So you have a data source, you directly connect it to the data source. You don't need to worry about the data GCP
Yes,
now.
yes, I am aware of the Databricks, but just I'm asking actually, basically, suppose in Azure, actually, normally what the peoples are doing, actually for the data extraction, they are using ADF, and for data
Correct, correct.
transformations, they
Not
are
like
using a
that.
Databricks.
So
So
there
it
are
is a,
few projects like that. So there are two projects. So if I'm not teaching Databricks in the GCP, how do you extract the data? How do you transform the data? All other things I'm already teaching, right? Using the cloud storage, using the PubSub, using the Dataproc, Dataflow, and all of those things. That is nothing but your data ingestion tools, data transform, data storage, and all. If I talk about Databricks and GCP, okay, so already those tools are already covered here. Okay, for sure in the GCP, people worry about ingesting the data from multiple data sources. For sure, they are working on a transformations, even without the Databricks also. If you have a Databricks, you integrate the Databricks on GCP, and your backend becomes a cloud storage now. Your backend becomes a cloud storage volumes now. Now in the Databricks, if you wanted to again connect it to the multiple other sources, you can do that. Here you can create the notebooks. Here you can create the pipelines. So all of these things. Without the Databricks, you can do it. With the Databricks also, you can do it. That's my point. Yeah. Even in Azure also, if you go for Azure, you have a ADF, you have a some other tools like ADLS and all of those things. Right. So for ADF, you extract the data. So without the Databricks, ADF use ADLS or Azure Blob Storages you use for data ingestion, data transformation, data processing. With the Databricks, you again connect it to your ADLS, that is your backend. But in the Databricks itself, you connect it to the multiple sources, whether your file is CSV or a SharePoint or some other multiple data sources, right? So wherever it is, you are going to connect it to that databases and all. Okay, so that is how it is. Any other
yes, sir.
questions,
Thank
anyone?
you, sir.
Yeah. Okay, so this is it, guys. So yeah, as sorry, your voice is breaking. No, no. ADF is not for GCP, it is for Azure. Yeah. DevOps is not for data engineer. Okay. So I'm going to tell you the course content for the Databricks also, guys. Maybe at this is for this course, I'm going to give you some basics only. Okay. I will be covering the basics. Maybe I have to full-fledgedly plan it. I think I might have planned earlier, but now I just have to take like 2 to 3 sessions. I will take it on Databricks also so that you guys get some idea. Yeah. Okay. Any other questions? Can be eligible for Databricks concepts if we add it in the next batch? Yeah, the next batch also you can always ask the admin. They will try to share it with you. Or else I am going to add it here, the concepts already, so you can avail. So 2 to 3 sessions we will cover. Yeah. Any other questions? The same timings, guys. There are no changes in the timing. The timings are same, 7:30 to 8:30 until the course end. Okay. AM IST. The timings are same. Don't miss the sessions, guys. Those who are planning for the job, those who are planning for the certification, this course is for you, guys. I'm telling you, nowhere you are going to get a this much detailed course content for the GCP. Because if someone says they are having 4+ years of experience, don't trust them, because no one will have a 4+ years of experience on the GCP. Hardly they will say I am having 3+ only. Okay. Luckily, I got a chance to work on the GCP 3 years before itself, but no one will have a 4+ years of experience, because GCP itself, it is there in the last 3 years onwards. Okay. Yeah. Okay, guys. Thank you all. This is it for today. Tomorrow we are going to talk about our next thing, our very first topic, that is the cloud overview. Why we need the cloud platform? What is the difference between the on-premises versus cloud platform? I am going to talk about it, which is going to be very, very beautiful topic. So you are going to get why we came to the cloud. You are going to understand it tomorrow. Okay. Yeah. This is it for today, guys. We will meet tomorrow and we will try to cover the topic. Yeah. Thank you all. Have a great day. Thank you
Thank you, sir.
guys. Thank you guys. Have a great day, guys. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for a great session.
Yeah. Thank you guys.